What's going on, everybody? Still talking about the card coming up tomorrow. Wanted to get my breakdown on Abdullah Mason and Sam Noakes. To me, that is like the second most interesting fight on the card because there's questions about these guys as well. Abdullah Mason on the quick rise in his career from prospect of the year to now contending for a 135-pound title. I mean, this is amazing. As a young man, they're calling him a kid, but to me, the way he handles himself and how he is, going about his work, he's a young man. So you have to address him as such. And he should take that as disrespect, as Sam Noakes is saying, oh, he's just a kid, he's just a kid. Well, I'll show you, you know what I mean? So I think that's the mentality that Abdullah Mason is bringing into this particular fight. Now, for Abdullah Mason to win this fight, I think it's going to be imperative for him to be defensively sound. He cannot, make mistakes, huge mistakes on the defensive end. He's a fighter that gets very bold with his offense. He can hurt you. He has, good power at the division. So he's looking to, put Sam Noakes down for sure, but he cannot forget about his defense. So that, to me, is the main thing that he needs to, worry about as the fight and the rounds go on. And there's a little bit of question about, because I said this before, and I don't want to just bring random names, but this is a good example. Keyshawn Davis fought. Keyshawn Davis was, still borderline prospect contender status when he fought this guy named Miguel Madueño, right? It was a good test. Madueño was a sturdy, rough, bigger 135-pound fighter, and he gave Keyshawn Davis, a really tough test. Granted, Keyshawn Davis shined with flying colors. He was throwing bricks off that man, hit left and right, but it was a tough fight. Miguel Madueño, was roughing him up, pushing him against the ropes, backing him up at points in time. And I said to myself, could Abdullah Mason handle a fight like that? I would like to see him in a fight like that, to see how he adjusts and how he, handles the pressure. And tomorrow is going to be a great test to see, is Abdullah Mason ready for pressure and somebody really in his face and crowding his space? You know what I mean? So that's the one question I have for Abdullah Mason. I'm not saying he won't win the fight. He still is my pick to win the fight. But I'm interested in seeing, how he adjusts and, comes forward, with his offense. So I haven't seen a lot of Sam Noakes, so I can't really give a whole detailed analysis on who he is and what he does as a fighter. But from what I've seen, once again, he's just as capable of winning this fight. He's aggressive, he's strong, he's sturdy, and obviously he's coming to win. Both guys are undefeated. Nobody wants to lose. You know what I mean? So I think he's going to come, and test Abdullah to see, what are you really made of? He feels like we haven't really seen you tested. We haven't really seen you, in a gruesome 12-rounder to where you had to go pins and needles and really, grit out the win. If I'm Sam Noakes, I'm trying to pull this out of Abdullah Mason. You know what I'm saying? So this is the second most interesting fight on the card to me. We'll see how it plays out. Like I said, my pick is still going for Abdullah. I think he still has the better skill set and the more all-around boxing foundation to really pull out the win. You know what I mean? So we'll see how it goes. Keep doing what you do. I love y'all. Keep pushing.